Hey guys, Michael here from michaelsherlock.com. Today is October 20th, 2009, Tuesday, and in a relatively unexpected event, Apple has updated some of their products. So we'll start off with some of the smaller stuff and move our way up. So the first thing is the new Magic Mouse. This is a new multi-touch mouse that is made out of essentially one piece of aluminum. There's no buttons. The whole thing is essentially a button. Again, it's Bluetooth, and it has apparently a 4-month battery. It's going to run for $69, and even though it's only one piece, it can still click, right-click, screen zoom, swipe, do 360-degree scrolls, and that's also customizable in the settings. Now, two things I want to say about this mouse. First of all, I think they're changing it to Magic Mouse for a few reasons. First, because it sounds pretty cool, and it's apparently the first multi-touch mouse, so people think it's magic. But also I've read that Apple is being sued, or in the process of having some copyright issues with a different company that registered the name Mighty Mouse. So they don't want to continue with a product line name that could have some issues down the road. But I do like the improvements with the Magic Mouse. This is the older Mighty Mouse, and it's pretty loud. Hopefully the Magic Mouse is much less noisy. And also the little roller ball does a pretty good job when you're using it, but it tends to get dirt in there, and then even though the ball will continue to move, it won't correspond to movement on your computer, which is kind of a bummer. So those are just the two things I wanted to say about the Magic Mouse. $69. It's kind of expensive for a mouse, but that's how much Apple has been charging for their mice. And actually, I think this one was only $49, so the price may have gone up a little bit, but still, multi-touch mouse becomes standard with when you purchase computers that get mice, so the iMac. We'll talk about that. So there's the Magic Mouse. Next up, the Apple Remote. Essentially, they stopped bundling that with computers, but if you want to get it, it's $19, and it's now pretty much full aluminum. Basically does the same thing, so it's not that important. The Airport Extreme and the Time Capsule also were silently updated, refreshed. It wasn't one of the bigger hyped things of this event, but it has been refreshed, and they both still support 2.4 and 5 GHz bands, which is good. It's also the same price, $179 for the Airport Extreme, $299 and $499 respectively for the 1 TB and 2 TB time capsules. According to Apple, due to an improved antenna configuration, the devices are 25% faster, and apparently Time Machine backups are actually 60% faster with Snow Leopard. So that's actually a pretty cool thing. I don't have a time capsule, but I can imagine quicker backups and faster throughput on all of these devices is always a good thing. And for the same price as it was yesterday, you know, these slight improvements are always nice in a product cycle. The regular Mac Mini has been given a processor, RAM, and hard drive bump. It's still the same price, starting at $599. Nothing really special there. But they've also introduced the Mac Mini Server, which is $999. And actually ships with two 500GB hard drives, no super drive, and includes Snow Leopard server with unlimited clients. So essentially this is your little server. Maybe you want something for your smaller business or for your home, and you don't want to get a whole X server. Now you can get a Mac Mini server in that same small enclosure. The specs: 2.53 GHz Core 2 Duo processor, 4 GB of RAM, and a GeForce 9400M GPU. So this is a really powerful home server for not a larger business, but a home server or a small business. And I'm sure it'll work nicely. It's a little compact thing, doesn't make a lot of noise, so you can pretty much put it anywhere and it's good to go. So that's actually a really cool thing that many people probably won't look at it as a fully featured product, but it's kind of nice to have in the product line if you're into that and you want to get a local server. Next up, the regular MacBook, not the MacBook Pro, has been updated and now includes a unibody enclosure. No, it's not aluminum, it's a plastic unibody. So it's still plastic, but it's made out of one sheet of plastic. So it is stronger than it was previously. It's still $99, includes a 13-inch LED screen, multi-touch glass trackpad, which is new, so no longer do you have the buttons like my MacBook Pro does, but it's all just one nice glass trackpad. Specs are 2.26 GHz Core 2 Duo, 2 GB of RAM, 9400M NVIDIA GPU. It's not a card. Don't get confused, it's not a graphics card, it's a graphics unit. And a 250GB hard drive, again $99, and also includes Apple's new battery technology. So on one hand, it kind of stinks that the battery is built in, but on the other hand, that's 7-hour battery life, and you're probably not going to get any better with any other type of battery or swapping two batteries. I know I would maybe be able to get 7 hours on my MacBook Pro if I swapped two batteries, but why would I want to if I could have 7 hours and not have to worry about it? So, Unibody plastic MacBook update. Last but certainly not least, I kind of alluded to it before, is the refreshed iMacs with a new 16. The displays are really amazing on this. Instead of the plastic, or instead of the glass stopping once the screen stops, the glass goes all the way across the front of the face of the machine. So better color throughput, better resolutions in terms of, not resolutions, but how it looks. And also, it's easier to clean because you can just wipe it. There's no corners where dirt and dust is going to get stuck. And it also is a pretty well-equipped display using some pretty fancy technologies, including IPS panels that are LED backlit with a 178-degree viewing angle. So no matter where you are in relation to the screen, this computer is going to emit some really nice-looking content. In fact, the resolutions have been bumped as well. 1920 by 1080 for the 21.5-inch model, and for the 27-inch model, 2560 by 1440, which is just an amazing resolution, and the pixel density on that is just amazing. That's above HD. So if you even had full 1080p content, and there's no Blu-ray player on this, but if you were to have 1080p content on here, you know, it would be stretched to fit onto the screen. Now, like I said, it's 21.5 inches and 27 inches. For the 21.5 starts at $11.99, and the 27 starts at $16.99. So those are the same price points as before, but there's no longer a 24-inch model. For the lower end, I think like $14.99, that's going to be 21.5. So take it with whatever view you want to take it. You could take it from the lower end, we're getting a bigger screen. From the higher end, oh, we'll have to bump up to a more expensive model to get the 27-inch. Because the 24-inch used to be $14.99, now that's going to be 21.5-inch for $14.99. So you understand what I'm saying. Now the back is essentially one piece of aluminum. They're really going for this sort of unibody-esque type of look, feel. But basically it's just better construction overall. It's a better design process, so you assume that the product will last longer. Now that wireless keyboard, which looks just like this, and the new Magic Mouse will be shipping, again, wirelessly, for free with these new iMacs. So wired is no longer standard, wireless is the new standard, which is pretty good. But what's also interesting is the higher end model that is more expensive than $16.99, I believe it's $2,000, actually sports a quad-core processor, a Core i5 processor at 2.66 gigahertz. This unit will ship in November. And for $200 more, bringing the total up to $2,200, you could actually upgrade to a Core i7 CPU at 2.8 gigahertz. And the custom build computer that I built has a Core i7, and they really run quite nicely. And it's really nice to see the iMac with quad-core processing because, you know, with the updated, pretty much everything has been updated, just some spec bumps. But having the Core i7 quad-core just means that, you know, the more powerful user doesn't necessarily have to go for the Mac Pro and spend all that much more money, because you'll have to get the Mac Pro, you'll have to get a screen, all that. You know, now the iMac all in one really small package is really a powerhouse. I mean, dual core across the board, 3 gigahertz across the board, until you get to, again, the quad cores, which are 2.66 or 2.8. So really, you're getting a lot of power in these new iMacs. And I think that's what Apple is trying to do across the board. They're trying to keep the prices the same, if not dip them a little bit, and make them just even more value for the end user. So that's just the October 20th update for Apple's new products, from the Magic Mouse to the iMac to the Unibody plastic MacBook. Apple has gone across their more consumer, average Joe-oriented computers and improved them. I'm Michael Sherlock. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.